You can read more about what this means. Doug Russell wrote some marvelous articles on this thing that I'm going to explain to you. Basic stream adjudication. There's some copies here. Also, this is a newspaper. Now, this was put out in October. My organization, Oklahoma's for Responsible Water Policy, puts out a newspaper every 3 or 4 months. There's a bunch of information about the water plant and how it threatens southeast Oklahoma. Very detailed. Please pick up a copy. So, in response to, despite what they say, in response to the Choctaw and Chickasaw Nation dragging the state into federal court over Sardis Lake, because they wouldn't even give the Choctaw and Chickasaw Nation a seat at the table, refused to even talk to them about this deal, then they got dragged into federal court. So, there's this statute in the water law, and this is it, in Oklahoma water law that's very bad. It's been stripped down over the years. You know, there's more details. There's copies of some editorials. Doug's written some marvelous articles on it that says that the water board, when the water board determines the best interest of the claimants to use the water from a stream system, will be served by a determination of all rights to use the water. The board can institute a suit on behalf of the state for the determination of all rights for use of such water, and can prosecute the same to a final adjudication. The cost of such a suit, including the cost on the behalf of the state, shall be charged against each of the parties thereto in proportion to the amount of water rights allotted. So right now, they voted to hand over the authority, which I will tell you there's a question whether that was legal or not, to their attorneys to decide whether or not they can sue. Now, this is the stream system that they're looking at is the Kiamichi River. All its tributaries and reservoirs. Big surprise, Sardis Lake, Atoka Lake, McGee Creek. Coincidentally, the waters that are of great interest to Oklahoma City, your state water board is about to go into a decades-long, generational, monstrous, horrific litigation over. Now, suppose they came up here and did that. Suppose we start fighting them. The Creek Nation steps in, and the Cherokee Nation, which sooner or later they're going to, and say, hey, you can't be taking all our water out of here. We depend on it for tourism and recreation too. They file suit for stream adjudication. If you have a permit from the lake, including the city of Eufaula, to draw water, including Haskell County, including every rural water company, if you have a permit, and that's called, that's appropriation, so you don't live on the water itself, but it's being shipped to you, and the state has awarded you that permit, and you paid the associated cost to that permit, they're going to still sue to prove that you and everybody else, they're going to sue to say who has rights to all the water within that stream system. That means something that you have a right to, your rural water company has a right to, your city has a right to. They will have to, despite what the state says, no, you don't have to get attorneys, we'll provide attorneys for you. Right. If somebody sues you, are you going to let their attorney handle your case? In addition to that, the city of Eufaula, these rural water districts, anybody who is having water, shipped to their farm, their ranch, shares the cost of a suit that they have nothing, they didn't even ever want to be involved in, have anything to do with it. If you live on a river or stream, you have what is known as riparian rights if your land abuts it. Those are the oldest water rights in the history of mankind, brought over to this country from Europe. You don't have to apply for permits to that water. By law, by common law, you can take a reasonable amount of water out to use for whatever purposes and store a 2-year supply for domestic use. You can't sell it. Those are wonderful rights. Those are property rights. But through this adjudication, the state can mess with that. So rights that you don't even have to have a permit to if you live along a stream or a river. Now this lake is different because the Corps owns the property along the lake. They can take, they're denying it. You can read articles in the paper from the AG's office saying, oh, here's the myths that are being said about stream adjudication. But in their little article where they say, here's the myths about stream adjudication, they don't mention this part, the cost of such a suit, including the costs on behalf of the state are going to be charged to you. They left that out of their, here's the truth about stream adjudication. So,
the AG's office is almost very close to word for word
right.
what Oklahoma City
said. Exactly. So Doug can tell you, the waters that they're suing, getting ready to sue over.
What was his comment, please?
He was saying that the AG's
Statement, the AG's statement, press release that they issued at the time.
Can't hear you.
What the AG issued
stand up, guys.
at the time of the adjudication proceeding where they allowed it, what the AG issued at that time, it wasn't word for word, but it was extremely close to the exact same thing that the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust issued. It was extremely close. It was like the same person wrote both of these things to put people's minds at ease.
Yeah, right.
So, I know this has been very long, we're at the end, but I want you to be mindful that what's happening throughout southeast Oklahoma is about to land in the laps of the community of Lake Eufaula. It may be a year from now, it may be 2 years from now. We still have lake level problems. What can you do to help? You can join these organizations. You can contact your legislators. You can support good water legislation, which during the question and answer session you can ask me what water legislation is coming up and I can tell you. You can spread the word. You can help build membership. What Save Our Water, back to Save Our Water, what are our current priorities? Lake levels, lake levels, lake levels, lake levels. We have got to get that federal advisory committee. We have got to get a way to get Southwest Power Administration to coexist with us. I know they have contracts. I've never seen a contract that can't be rewritten or broken. We have got to get more respect for non-consumptive uses of water, for recreational uses. We have got to get protection for non-consumptive uses of water. That's got to happen through in-stream flow legislation. There's specific legislation that has to happen in this state of Oklahoma. Other states around us, big bad Texas that's trying to get our water, has really great legislation to protect its water from itself and from outside sources. It's one of the reasons they're coming after us. This is what we are. Maintain lake levels, get that federal advisory committee going, protect non-consumptive uses of water, support good water legislation. There's been people that have moved away, retired from this organization. What we are asking you to do, all of you must know somebody that's in Save Our Water. Start attending our board meetings. They are open. We're not saying sign up today to be a board member. Attend the board meetings. Learn more about the water issues. Make some trips with us to Oklahoma City. Talk to Donnie Condon. Talk to your mayor. Talk to your leaders. Learn more about how important water is to you. Learn more about the water plan that I could say here and really understand what a threat this water plan is to southeast Oklahoma. If it's a fit, and we're hoping for some of you, it will be a fit, step up and say, I want to become a board member. Because that's what we need. We need to not be complacent. We need to stop thinking that it's not going to happen to us. You know, that was said to me, I'm not going to say by who, but you know, by somebody here, oh, well, they're going to get Sardis. That belongs to Oklahoma City. They'll never come after us. Either way, I mean, I think they will lose Sardis, and they will come after us. If they get Sardis, greed begets greed. I think we know that. They're going to come after us again. So, I'm vice president. Currently, we don't have a president. Sam Sylvester is the secretary. Brian Best is our treasurer, an incredible webmaster. Karen Weldon was our past president. Patty Daniel, who's not here, who many of you know, has taken Team Up to Clean Up, is president of that. That was an offshoot of this organization. She is marvelous in trying to keep the litter picked up on this lake. Jim Zellner, who's sitting right here, was an original member, worked tirelessly, knows a lot about the water plan. Jerry McCormick, Salina Jane Dornan, our mayor, Dan Huddle, George Ellison, I don't know if you guys know him. Please get with these people. Please find out when our next meetings are. Start attending, see if it's a fit for you. And so, after that very long presentation, questions?
When and where do you meet?
Well, generally, we were meeting, they got shifted around. It was the first Friday and then became the second Friday. We were going to be reorganizing, and sometimes we meet at my house. What we're going to do is we will develop a phone tree. We will call people, let them know, post notices in the paper, Often we meet at the Episcopalian Church. I'm gonna see maybe if we can start meeting here, which is a bigger meeting room, maybe Dan and Jerry can help me arrange that. So right now, we've got to see with the board members we have. Were we going back to the first Friday of the month in the morning, or what were we doing?
We haven't really discussed it
Okay.
since
We got to find a
Rick
time
left,
that
but,
will attract more people, so. And we might start with a night meeting.
It'll be on your website when you decide.
On the website, and we'll make sure it's in the newspaper, and so, for example, so many of our members are associated with Methodist men that they'll let you guys know. We'll do a phone tree, we'll post it at City Hall, you know, we'll post it at a lot of churches. Doug will put it in the newspaper for us as well.
Let me know.
I will, well, I generally call you.
I
You're
know.
one of the first people I contact when I know anything.
As long as we know, we'll get in there.
Yeah. So, yes.
What does the power company do if there isn't any water to generate hydro?